Hey guys, welcome to a new week. This week we're going to do something different. I'm going to do the lecture, well, not the lecture, I'm going to do the lab here. And so that way you have a reference to this week's class. You'll have something to look back at. So this week we're going to talk about CrossSiteScripting. This is one of my favorite ones. Anything dealing with security and software development is kind of my alley. So this week we're going to discuss about that. And so at this point you've already seen my lecture, and now we're doing the lab aspect of it. This is just to have something to go over in class, but also be useful for you when you do your homework assignment. All right, so let's get started. All right, so we're on the damn vulnerable web application. And so what we're going to do for the first thing for our lab is we're going to go down and make sure that our security is set to low, and then we'll set it to medium and high and so forth. All right, so we're going to go into there's a bunch of different ones, but the one that we're going to work on in this lab is the stored version. Sure, hit OK. All right, so as you see, I've been testing it down here. More importantly, all right, so you want to make sure that you are on this website here. And so you want to make sure it'll be this address, which I can zoom up a little bit here. So you want to make sure whatever yours says, it should be similar or the same. All right, so we will go to the local host. So the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to enter a name. So I'm going to zoom in so we can enter a name. You give any type of name. So we'll say, I use Landshark already. So we'll say that my name is Stella. And so we'll put a name in there, and then we're going to send a script in here. And I know that you guys maybe you are, or maybe you're not familiar with JavaScript. And that's what we're going to use as JavaScript. So let's do this. We're going to do script, alert. And what this alert does, it just does a alert on the page, no big deal. So we'll just do test. And we'll do script. And then, so like I said, this is a form of JavaScript. What should happen is when I sign the guest book, it should pop up on the screen. So I'm going to go out here and sign guest book, and it pops up. So that's just a normal thing that happens. It's just a JavaScript there, or JavaScript message. All right, not sure why that happened. All right, yeah, it's because of that. No big deal. Yep. All right, so as you see here, as you've seen, I already did this. So what it did is it stored the information in the page, which is what we wanted to accomplish. So the output is the name and the message on the screen, and that's what we want to accomplish because we're implementing a cross-site scripting. Ultimately what we want to do is be able to save our information on their database. So that way, if we want to, we want this to happen later on, we're going to do that. So in your homework assignment, you'll need to show me screenshots. So you'll be able to do a screenshot of this right here. You don't have to do a screenshot. You'll do a screenshot that you put the code in, and then you'll do a screenshot that you have an output, okay? So the next thing that we can do here is we can introduce a developer console. You can either do Firefox or Chrome, and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with this. But in this aspect, well, let me just go down here and change the security real quick. So let's go down here to security, and we're going to change it to medium to make it a little bit more difficult. And then we're going to go back down to the stored. Yeah, he likes to roll out there, no big deal. All right, so we go to the stored, and now what we're going to do is we're going to the script right here. And we're going to do our scripting again. So we're going to do script. And we type A. Uh-oh, see, now we got a problem. It won't let me type anymore. Okay, you see where I'm doing that? It won't let me type. So now what I need to do is I need to use I'm using Chrome, so I need to go into the developer console. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to choose inspect. What happens is you see right here, I pull up inspect, so it brings up the console, the source code. And so the problem here is there's probably the length of the string is not big enough. So as you see right here, let me zoom in, the max length is 10. And So that's all we can type. So that's going to be a problem. It's in this case, what it's showing here is we're not able to get past 10. And so we got a problem. We need to see if we can modify it to a greater length. So what I'm going to try here is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to click here. And I'm going to make it 30 and hit enter. I'm going to come back over to my code. And look at this. Guess what? I could type some stuff now. So now I'll do awesome. So we are awesome at this point because we're able to get it to accomplish. Oh, maybe not too awesome. Let's just do this. We go in there and change it if we want to. So now let's do this. Let me zoom out so I can see what I'm doing. Assign guest book. Says, all right. Okay. So what we want to do here is let me click out of this, right click and go into Fuse Page Source. And here's the important thing that we're trying to accomplish here is, let me find message. Oh geez, what was that? Oh, not what I want. Different keyboard. Just trying to do a message. All right, so message is right here, and there it is. So as you see here, I started typing alert test, and the comments I typed in are being stored. Stella right here. The comments I did are being stored in the database. So what you want to do is try to get your stuff to go in their database, and that's what we're doing here. We're saving information in their database, which could be bad for them, great for us. Let's see, what else do we want to do? All right, so let's go out of here. Where am I at? All right, so we're in here, and let me refresh the page. Yes. All right, sure. All right, so let's give this a name. Jeff, actually let's call it Bob. And then we're gonna come down here and enter our script in here. Script, alert, Steelers, script. All right, let's get inside that guest book. All right. All right. So we did Bob and alert. Now what, you can't see it. Let's go into view source. And looking for it here. Well, what I was looking for is it shouldn't work because there should have been some type of special characters, but it did work. So that's interesting. So anyways, let's get out of that. It shouldn't have worked. So let me make sure I am on medium. I am on medium. Let me go back to stored. I don't know why it keeps refreshing like that, because it's pulling up. Oh, it's because, so yeah, I know it's doing it because we save that information on their database. So now every time someone goes in a page, it alerts up. So this is a good thing for us, not for them. All right, let's see here. What else do we want to do? Force a tab, right click on the name. So what we're going to do here is so let's try something again. So let's do name. Let's click on this, go into developer mode. So you click on inspect, put you in developer mode. Let's change the max length to 100. Yes, 100%. 100 length. Perfect. Let's do script alert browns, alert that the browns are coming into name, and then we'll put in here text this, and let's see if it works now. Should work fine. So you see it just keeps popping everything up there. Popped everything in there. That worked. Make sure the view source is good. Yes, that's good. Let's go down and change the security around. Let's get out of here. Let's make it high. So now we're on high. Let's go down to the security again. Just keeps pulling everything up for us as we wanted it to. Let's do SCR script IP. Oops, I can't type. PT. Uh-oh. Well, now we gotta inspect this bad boy again because they have it maxed out there. So let's make it 100. Enter. So it should allow us to type. It does. So we'll do script IP alert XSS. Oops. Script message sealers and show how it gets cut off so it didn't hit. So now we got a problem. The heck happened? What happened? It cut it off. It didn't put anything in there because that security is actually working. We're high. Let's see something here. So I'm seeing that they have something cut off here. Normally they're looking for special characters, but in this case, they blocked us from adding information in there, even though we were able to change it, but they had something filter, a string filter that prevented us from being able to get that to work. So what that means is they have script tags filtered, and when script tags are filtered, they don't allow everything to get in, and that's why we couldn't push that in there. So usually there's like special characters preventing stuff in the script, and as you see here, it has script tags at slashes, so it's looking for information that is preventing us. See right here, special characters. So it's preventing us from adding anything into that. But what you probably can do is you could go back and just looking for that type of stuff. We could probably come in here and type image source, source equals X on air. I got to inspect again, so let's inspect it. Let's change it back to 100. Enter. So we'll come up here and we'll disguise it and say, oh, we're doing an image source, not a scripting. And we can say equals X on air equals alert. And then we could do XSS. And we could say, how about that? Sign a guest book. Sure, it's going to pull everything up that we did. Yes, refreshing the page. Yes. And see, it worked. So we tried to add an image, but even though in the back end it added, it allowed us to sign the guest book. So that to me that's scary from a standpoint because, you know, from them that's a problem that they have to fix on their end. So let's do message real quick. Yeah, so as you see here, when we went into it, it allowed us to add the alert. So it allowed us to add the script that way. Interesting. So that right there is 101 on vulnerability stuff. So that's that part right there. So let me scroll back to myself real quick. All right, so that right there is a short demo on some cross-site scripting. So it's kind of going through some different scenarios, more pertaining to getting a script out there. Because the key in this case, and hopefully my video is not blurry, but it looks blurry here. What we're trying to accomplish here is trying to push a script of some sort that we want to happen into their system. So that's a vulnerability that you can play around with, but it's a good methodology. So next that we're going to talk about a little bit is cookies. And so the cookie thing is a little, and this is the other reason I wanted to do the video, because the cookie is something that you have to set up. So let's go through that and show you how that works. Maybe. All right. Still has me on here. All right. So going back, so now you guys will have to go to a new website. So this is one of my repository sites. As you see here, it's github.com, Jeffrey J. Seaman. You want to go to that site. This picture right here is actually a couple semesters ago, I think. Spring of last year. It was my intermediate Java class at CCAC North. So we decided to do the photo outside, and you can't actually tell, but it was pouring out raining, which made it very exciting. Not really. So hopefully we come up with something creative this year. All right, so go to this site right here, scroll down, click on repositories, and you'll see something called XSS. I want you to click on that. So what you're going to do, and as I'm actually going to show it to you in here. Maybe I got to scroll down here. All right, so there are two files. I want you to grab cookie.php and cookie monster. So I'm going to open up cookie in here and show you what I want you to do. So when you get the cookie.php, everything in here is saved for you, but I need you to change your configuration around a little bit. Where the heck's it at? Oh, it's right here. So you want to make sure you have localhost. Username should be root. Whatever your password was for your MySQL, mine was CCAC, and then whatever your database, well, you're going to call it XSS3. You could call it something else, that's fine, but that's what I called it. Okay, so you'll want to make these changes to make things easy. Just change your password or whatever it is and do that and save it. Then next thing is, oops, let's get out of that. Let's go to cookiemonster.php. This one right here, and we'll talk about what this is going to do shortly. Actually, this one's pretty good. You don't have to make any changes to this. Okay, so I'll come back to this and talk about what that's supposed to do. Next, you save that. Then the next thing that you want to do is you want to go to your folder, wherever you have your XAMPP folder at. Right here, I have mine. You want to go into, let me zoom in. You want to go into htdocs. You want to go into XAMPP. Oops, maybe not htdocs. htdocs, and you want to go into DVWA for David, Victor, Walter, Angela. Click on that. Then you want to copy and paste your cookie and your cookie monster in here. Okay, so that's very important. After that, you want to go out to your MySQL page, and you're going to need to create a database table, or a database. Now I already called mine XSS3. How would you do that? I don't know. I'm kidding. You'll click on new, and then you'll come in here, like I already have mine in here. You'll hit X. Let me keep zooming in. SS3, if that's what you call it. So let's pretend I'm going to call it something different. So I'm going to call it cookie. That's a bad one. Let's say cyber. So let's say I'm going to call mine cyber. Okay, so I'll call it cyber. This is the same process you'll do. I'll hit create. Okay, so now we need to create a table. So we want to call it comments. So you want your table to be called comments because there is a table in here called comments that we do something. And then these are two fields that we have as ID and comment. All right, so do comment, and then I'm gonna hit go. All right, so actually we only wanted 2 columns. So I meant to do that differently. So let's get out of that real quick. Hit cyber, create a table, come over here and do 2 columns. So let's do comments and hit go. Perfect. For the table name, ID, leave it as an integer. Let's scroll over here. For this right here, put null, because if we leave it unchecked, it's going to cause problems. Okay. All right, let's move over. And then we want this column to be called comment. Comment is important. This column should be varchar. And I'm going to make it 1,000. That means we're going to 1,000 spaces. I'm going to zoom out. And I'm going to, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a save button down here. I'm going to hit save. And boom, I have this table. Now, like I said, mine is called SSS3. So remember, if you call yours cyber or whatever you call yours, you'll have to come out to here. You'll have to come into cookie, and you'll have to come down to here and change some things around here. This right here, you'll have to change this to say cyber. Other than that, everything else stays the same. Okay, so that is the 2 things that you have to do. So you have to set up your new database. You have to add one table, add 2 columns. Pretty straightforward. I've put all the source. I wrote all the source code in there to work, so this should be fine. So let's do some stuff now. All right. So let's refresh this page. All right, so what you'll do is you'll go to your localhost 123 dbwa cookie.php. Now, there's some cool stuff that we could do in here, and this will teach you how to, the key, what we're gonna try to do is still a cookie. So cookie is, well, we all know what cookies are. And you get cookies to basically every page you go to. And what we're gonna do is we're going to figure out a way that we can go in and steal someone's cookies. And so let me go back to the code aspect and show you a couple things, what we're trying to accomplish here. So this one right here has all the code in it. It's going to save information, use database stuff. We're inserting some comments in here. Not a big one to really be concerned about. This one right here, the cookie monster, it's interesting because the cookie monster is going to grab this value and it's going to store it, and it's going to append it to a file. So actually there is a file in here. It's a text file. So if I where's it at? Gotta find it here. I can't remember where I put it at. It's a txt file. So I don't know if I could do find it in here or not. Oh, come on. I have it in there somewhere. All right, let me find the name of it. Stolen cookies. All right, called stolen cookies. All right. So maybe I have it in the other one. Oh, I have it in this one. I didn't even see it. So I have a file here called stolen cookie. So I create a file and store it. So what we're trying to do is when we're on this page here, not that page, where are we at? Oh my God. I lost All right, when we are on this page right here, I have a brain freeze. So we're on this page, we are going to create a cookie, and we're going to steal that cookie, and then we're going to make sure that we're able to steal it, if that makes any sense. All right, so first thing that we're going to do is, let's see here, what are we going to do? Click on new comment, and let's add a comment. Hello, students. Comment, great. So we made a comment. Now that's saved to the database. So you could probably go out to your database. Example, mine's that one right there. So I could go into comments, and there you go. It's saved right there. Hello, students. I just saved it. Perfect. So I save that new comment. I go back out to this page, and let's see here. Go to comments. Let me remember. So I go to comments. I type that in. So now what I'm gonna do here is, and what I meant to show you is when I did that, I saved it right here. So let's go ahead and click new cookie. So now we have our auth key as cookie, and then do output cookie, and it displays our cookie right here. So now we have a cookie ID here, which is good. That's a good start. All right, so now I'm gonna show you how to steal a cookie. So let's go up here, and let's type in awesome, and we'll do script Windows. So we're doing another script like we normally do. Location equals HTTP, and it has to be your address. So mine's localhost 1234, and let me see where I'm at. I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget it. All right, so DVA, so let's zoom in here. So we have 1234, which I have. Our address DVWA, and I have to do cookie monster.php because that's the site that we want to call to capture our information. Question mark. Cookie equals, and then this is where we'll put, and we'll add on to it and say escape, and we will do document.cookie, and we'll do script, just like that. And then, all right, let's zoom out so I can see where my screen's at. So we want to send it to our cookie monster as a get. So let's go ahead and do comment. It blew up, so let's do this. All right, what the heck happened? It should have, don't know if it worked. So let's see if it worked. Should have said, oh no. Actually, I have it out here. And let's go to our stolen cookies. So I think this is my last out key. So you should get an auth key, and then what you could do is you could come back out here and do output cookie, and you get the same ID. So this is what we had when we originally started, and in our file they stored the same thing, which is that key. So try to accomplish that and send that to me. And it's just a little demo site that I put together that wasn't on the VWA, and just added it so that we can, you know, do information out here. So again, try that and let me know if it works. Thanks for watching this video, and have a good day.